And we are live.
We're live. Oh, barely though. It sucks.
Good morning, everyone. It is
Ah,
January 13th,
Friday the
2023.
13th.
Oh, yeah, it sure is. Oh, my God.
Friday the 13th.
Uh,
Where it's like, watch out to all the Templars out there. The Pope is about to mark you as heretics and steal all your shit. So,
and on that note, this is our intro. Do it.
Yeah, it's one of those days.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, just do it. Poke.
The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors. You fucking killed it. That's great.
Oh, I'm very proud of my little trailer.
You ought to be. You ought to be.
Yeah. You know what it is? The secret to it is really keeping the beats of the music. It's like before I would just throw shit together and not really, it's like the music would just be a background noise. But this one, it's like after Tyler Carpenter did that video for JD, I was like,
it's all about the theatrical dynamic.
It's the beats, it's what Meredith was really, really good at, is finding those beats and working with the beats and the music. And yeah, it makes a difference. It's not background noise. So I'm very pleased. Good morning, everybody. And right off the bat, I just want to apologize for my camera being complete ass today. I tried rebooting. I'm probably going to have to unplug a couple of things. I don't know what's going on. It's like I'm like super oversaturated or something. I don't know what's going on, but it is what it is. We'll just push through. So good morning, everybody. So who's joining us in the chat today?
Okay, so far we've got Frayne, Mike, Jimmy, Alison. Let's see. Yeah. It's just them. They're just talking. But there's other people around. They're just hiding and being quiet.
There you go. Yes, and especially the four people. I see you, the four people next to the giant eyeball on my screen, watching us from regions beyond. And remember, if you are watching me, if you're watching us from Facebook, if you're watching us from Twitter, come on over to YouTube. Join the sexy people in the chat. It's a lot easier here for us to talk with each other. Facebook likes to act up. Twitter doesn't allow us to see the comments. So come on over. And while you're here, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we go live. Push all the buttons that make the algorithm gods happy. It's like You know, we got to
even
work
be a
extra
little
here.
bratty and push the ones you don't know.
Exactly. Just push them all. It's like the algorithm reads everything the same way. The up, the thumbs up, the thumbs down. It's like whatever. It's all the same to the algorithm.
Love us, hate us, we don't care. Just show up.
Yeah, exactly. You're watching us anyway. Oh my goodness. Yes.
That's it. Assert your authority this early in the morning.
Really.
We're the alpha bitches today.
Well, I mean, it's as much as my mood will allow at the moment. But yeah. So good morning, everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and if you were paying attention to that beautiful trailer I did just seconds before, I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, and especially Tall Tales to Peacekeepers, which right now is on pre-launch on Kickstarter. I'm looking to launch this in the next probably the next 2 weeks. All the links are in the show notes below. Make sure that you hit the notify me button so you get notified the second it goes live. And I am also known for, drum roll, because we have a debut here, and my minimal fantasy soap opera drama, Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn.
What?
And as you can see, returning with another banger, another absolute banger variant cover from the one, the only Jaden Lanning. So make sure that you just pay attention, because right now it is not on pre-launch, because it comes out later on in the year, late spring 2023. Eagle Raven issue 6 already. That's what we're at right now. So yeah, I know, really, my Jimmy. I know.
Every time the kid gets a cover, she comes back even stronger. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, I know, really. So yeah, so keep that in mind. Remember this. Remember this later. Put a pin in it. In the meantime, you can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILS online.com, and eagleworks.com, EGOWORKS, especially at eagleworks.com, where I am currently serializing Eagle Raven, the full color edition from the very beginning. So if you want to check out the series before the campaign starts, you can read it for free at eagleworks.com. Or if you're a little bit more impatient, you can also download a free PDF of the first 16 pages of the first the first issue. And also remember, you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here at YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage Art. That's Lage. And which also simulcasts here through the Indie Comics Network. So like I said, look at that. I went all blurry. What the fuck? My camera is really acting up. You know what? It's matching the same mood I have now. So it's like, so you know what? So like I said, it's like, we simulcast through the Indie Comics Network. So again, come on over to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the like, the dislike, whatever, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And to tell you more about that, here's Nita with a significantly less congested sinus cavity.
It very much is. Like, I can actually breathe. So my name is Nita Lanning, and I am a writer, vlogger, blogger, and executive producer of the Indie Comics Network and Indie Comics Network After Dark. So injury and illness has kept us down, but I'm back, bitches.
Yeah,
I'm back.
Yeah,
I'm back.
Know. I mean, it's like I finally, for those of you who didn't, who probably didn't watch me on my Wednesday show, on Tuesday, I finally went to the doctor for my leg and found out, yes, it is my leg. I hurt my leg. It's like I hurt my back, and it's like, but it's at a point where it's almost back to normal. Probably we're about like 90% right now. I just have to continue taking Tylenol when as needed, because God knows the prescription shit they gave me at the other doctor didn't do anything for me. It was just Tylenol was the only thing that was working. So I'm about 90%. I'm about able to 100% sit in this chair without wanting to kill anybody. So especially at this moment. And like I told Nita before, it's like I just got a notification that my medical records were just updated with, I guess, the results of my blood work. And I told Nita, it's like, you know what? Unless somebody calls me, I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother looking at it, because if they're not calling me, it means my shit is just as boring as I was at the doctor itself. It's like,
boring is good.
Boring is good. The only thing I was diagnosed with was being a salty bitch. That's the only thing I was officially diagnosed. I am too salty for my own good. Well, what it is that the doctor was a little concerned that my blood pressure was a little too high. Not by much, but just enough to mention it. But she says that it could possibly be most likely related to me still reacting to the pain in my leg. But she wanted me to cut my sodium down just in case. So just in case. So I am trying to be a less salty bitch for the new year. So all for you, all for everybody here, because we all got work to do. You know? So that was pretty much, my, but really though, it's like the day after, like, I guess I had just stressed myself out with the whole leg and the cat acting up and, and going to and having to go to the doctor, that on Wednesday, it's like, I just completely crashed. Like, I was lucky I was able to do my live stream, after I came back from the doctor. No, it was Thursday.
I'm surprised you did.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Right.
I think both
Tuesday was the cat. Wednesday was my doctor appointment, and then Thursday was when I just completely crashed. I just, you know what it is? It's like I figured that no matter what happened, literally the show must go on. So that's and in the end it was just like, in the end it turned out to be nothing. I really did, it just hurt my leg and I just have to power through it, so might as well just do a live stream. For those of you who missed it, you can check out the replay on Indie Comics Network or on my channel. We were drawing pages and talking about the short story that I'm currently finishing to send to the Flatters tomorrow, which was ironically literally about Eager Raven going to a doctor as well. So it's like, everything comes together. Life imitates art, art imitates life. It's how we roll here. So what else is going on with you, Nita? I mean, obviously you sound a lot better too. You had
I crashed. Like, I just straight up crashed. Like, I went to bed Wednesday night, and yesterday at 5:00 in the evening, Chris comes home and he's like, "Why haven't you been answering the phone?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, what time is it?" And he's like, "It's 5." And I'm like, "The fuck it is." I'm thinking he's messing with me or whatever. And it's like, no, I literally laid down and was done.
Right. It's like you were in a coma for the day.
The kids went about their lives and destroyed shit. They didn't hear nothing. It was crazy. It was crazy. I've never crashed like that.
Right. I mean, and what's funny, because it's like most of the time when me and Nita are working, like offline or whatnot, well, we're not live streaming, but we're in a StreamYard. It's like when she's trying to work, the kids are completely incapable of fending for themselves.
No, they can't. They can't eat. They can't do nothing.
They can't function. But she's in a coma, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, she's down for the count. That's it. They don't even poke her with a stick to see if she's alive.
Nothing. Like, nobody. I'm like, damn, dude, right. I would have been like stinking and past stiff by the time you got home.
Right. But luckily,
the cat probably was tasting me.
Right. I know the cats were sitting there like, is she done yet? Is she done? There was an episode of there was a show that I used to watch. It was a podcast that I used to listen to. It was done by Matt Paxton, who was one of the specialists who used to work on Hoarders. He was one of the cleaning specialists. And he was doing his own podcast because, lo and behold, he actually specializes in hoarding and,
Right.
and mitigating those types of circumstances. So he had a forensics cleanup team on his show that he was, I know that on his show. And they, it's like, and they're more of an intent, it's like a forensics. They're dealing with actual, decomposing bodies and things like that, right? So of course, one of the questions that got asked is that it's like, when it comes to pets in the home, so it's like, who's more likely to eat the body first, cats or dogs, right? And the guy who is part of the team, he says dogs will take up to 2 weeks before they decide to actually start eating the body. I guess it depends on the circumstances, right? Cats only need 48 hours.
It's bad. I wouldn't. Sometimes I wonder if they're tasting me when I'm just
I know. Do you have a flavor? I'm feeling a bit peckish.
There's no food. I could see the bottom of my bowl.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's like they do that stupid thing where they only eat like a clear section, but the food is like still all around it. There.
Yes. Oh
but
my god.
But that clear spot in the middle is completely, it's absolutely not. This is unacceptable. The bowl might as well be empty. Oh my goodness. So
now playing ketchup. That's
what happened?
Playing ketchup.
Yeah, no, I thought that it was after this week, it was a very appropriate title, because it's like, because God knows it's like, I am just at a complete loss for topics this week, because it's I never stopped.
Except for Thursday. I never stopped. Like I kept working. It was just a very, very slow pace.
Right.
Like to the point where it's like, what am I doing?
Right. Yeah.
It like something that would normally take me 10 minutes was taking 2 hours type thing.
Right. Yeah,
so
that's
now
exactly
it's just getting caught back up.
Yeah. Oh, and just so everybody knows, every package, all the reward packages for Eagle Raven Air the First Unicorn issue 5, the previous campaign, they're all packed. They're done. I'm going to spend the weekend labeling everything. So hopefully by Monday, I can start getting these packages out so everybody can start getting their rewards. It's the same thing with Oswald Chronicles. If you pledged on the last campaign, all our books came at the same time. So both me and JD were fulfilling at the same time. The house is a mess. Like I said, there is absolutely no piece of furniture here that is being used as intended. Right? But everything is packed up. I just have to make labels this weekend. And then it's like, that's another thing off my list. The same thing with this story that I'm working on, just a couple of more pages. And it's another thing off my list. I mean, like I said, it's just playing catch up, getting through the rest of the to-do list and whatnot. I want to show off some things that I got. So yeah. So
all the things.
Yeah, all the things. No, it was like it was a pretty productive week. This came as a surprise. I was not expecting this because I was like, oh, I don't remember pledging to anything because I'm waiting for all the trades to come out. It's like, but look, it's like I did say if you really wanted me to show up to a place, you only need to have 2 things: falafel and Viking werewolves. And Robert Multari didn't send me falafel, but he sent me beautiful Viking werewolves, which is always welcome in this house, as you know. So here we have, he sent me the first 2, issue 1 and issue 2, the variant cover of Snowpaw, which is a beautiful series, by the way, very enjoyable. It's very dreamlike and whatnot, with art by Mog Park, and it's like, but But the thing is, though, it's very dreamy and whatnot, but it's about werewolves fighting. So you still get that. You still get that. And I know that I haven't opened it up yet because I know there's a lot of little prints and postcards that are in here as well. But yeah, but thank you, Mr. Rob Multari, for scratching that itch.
Well then,
you know how that goes. So yeah, so and speaking
good morning,
of
Joe.
Rob
Good morning,
Multari,
Grant.
yes, speaking of Rob Multari, he does have a new campaign in pre-launch right now. It's for a special 6-issue connecting variant cover series for
the
Night
5th anniversary of Night Wolf.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
and it has an adorable plushie, a little voodoo doll werewolf.
No, really, actually, it's about 12 inches, isn't it? I mean,
that's 12 inches.
It's a good sizable. Your mileage may vary depending. I mean, it's a good size, and I think that
12 inches. I am a woman. I've been lied to my whole life.
There you go. We know neither math nor measurements. Welcome to women's clothing, where the sizes are made up and the numbers don't matter.
And we've been told this was 11 inches our whole lives.
Hey, that's why we're all bad at math, right? No, but the plush toy is really cute, and if the price point is what we hear it's going to be, it's actually pretty reasonable for a plush animal that size. So
absolutely,
especially for an independently created plush animal. So all the links are in the show notes below if you want to check out the latest the Night Wolf campaign for the plush animal and for the
that you can find that covers easily on my wall or on the promotions page. The promotions group is where you're going to find pretty much every campaign we've talked about, and some, or my wall,
exactly. So the next thing that I got,
we do what we want to do. We're the alphas here.
It's like, hey, it's not our fault you're interpreting things differently.
Yeah, Alison, what's wrong with you? Gosh. We're just talking about measurements.
Really, buying clothing is horrible as a woman. You know this. So the next thing that I think that a lot of people are going to be really nostalgic about. I saw this the last not the last time, but a few times ago when we were at the Midtown Comics outlet. That's like a couple of blocks. So that's a couple of blocks away from here. So while JD was perusing the 99-cent bins, the dollar bins, right? It's like, so I was just looking around and I came across this book and I go, holy shit, I remember having this and I need to have this back. It's like, I don't know what happened to it originally, but they were asking for $40 for it. And I go, no, fuck this. I'm not going to pay $40 for that book. So I went on eBay, found it for like $17, and I'm so chuffed to have it back. It is this volume 1 of the official handbook of the Marvel Universe. It's like I used to have this, back. I'm pretty sure back in high school, because it's like I remember going through all these pages and copying the poses. Trying to get that look, it's like you got the Burn Hogarth book on one side. I had this on the other, how to draw the Marvel way, and I was just copying, the poses here, trying to figure out the look. It's like, and of course, the one thing that excited me the most about getting this back. Hold on. Where is he? Where's my boy? Here he is. Here's my boy. Nice to have him back. My precious Beta Ray Bill. Actually, the only reason I even know Beta Ray Bill is because of this. And that's all it took, because I'm a very simple creature. This is, Monster Girls all the way. There we go. Right? It's like a united front. And the thing is, though, it's like what I really like is the whole idea of having like kind of like, like a whole character thing. And what was funny is, like, again, to bring up a quick plug for a friend. So Sam Vera, on one of his previous campaigns, he did a little book for There's an Alien in My Toilet, The Complete Guide to Duty and Friends, where it's pretty much kind of a similar concept, where it's like he shows all his characters and he has a little bio of them or whatnot. And I mean, I really do love this concept. And I know that I really do have to put one together for Eager Raven, especially the more the lore gets more convoluted as I work on it. And it's like, yeah, I really do think that it would make like a fun stretch goal, or probably like, like a fun add-on after, it's, it's like probably, so watch out for that on a preview, on a future campaign. But you can, if you want to get this book from There's an Alien in My Toilet. So Sam Vera has a campaign going now for the latest issue of There's an Alien in My Toilet, issue 4. He has this book available as a add-on. So I think that this is a really fun addition to the collection if you're collecting the books. Honestly, I even without collecting the books, I just think it's just I really do enjoy these things. Just learning about all the characters and whatnot.
Right.
And so I really enjoy this. So yes, There's an Alien in My Toilet, issue 4, show notes, the whole thing, that it's all there. But last but not least, at least you get a hint of it back here, because you know how I am. I have the proof to Tall Tales the Peacekeeper. So this is the trade paperback that I will be starting the campaign for. Like I said, Peacekeepers is in pre-launch. It is the collected black and white of the 3-issue series, including the short that introduces the series when we were doing our individual kind of like anthology books, Revelations and Revelation Saga, back in the day. So this collects everything Peacekeepers. So it's the complete story. It is a standalone book. So if you just wanted to jump on this Tall Tales series, the Tall Tales mythos, in one shot, this is the way to do it. Now, mind you, it is a different storyline from the main storyline, from the Thieves Quest storyline. However, I mean, if you're thinking about a timeline, this runs concurrent to that. So they're not connected, but they're just, but they do run at the same time. And if you're looking to get the entirety of the series as it is right now, and it's like, I love doing this. So here is the first, the 4 volumes of Thieves Quest. Look at that. Peacekeepers fits right in, with it.
That's got to be what, 5 inches thick?
Yeah, and it's heavy. Holy crap, my arm is getting tired. This is how out of shape I am. We're just holding this, So it's like, yeah, so you can get the all 5 volumes on the next campaign if you missed anything, if you want to just get it all in one shot. And in case you want to add a little bit more weight, Eager Raven, the Eager Raven Volume 1 trade is also going to be available on the campaign. So if you are a glutton for punishment, you can pick up all of my trades as they appear here in one shot on the Peacekeepers campaign. So again, links are in the show notes below. Isn't this beautiful? Isn't this?
It is.
I swear,
that's punishment, not punishment.
It really is. And you know what? I like that. It's like, I mean, I am just so chuffed. Like I said, I'm not really a process person. I'm an end result person. Like, I'm just like, this is my high right here. This is the high that I'm constantly chasing, adding another trade paperback to this. So it's like, I mean, it's like, really, I could probably kill somebody if I hit them with all of these books. It's like, really, it's like, so what do you do? I do this. So I'm just gonna leave this here. I'm gonna just leave that right there.
Patrick gets it.
Yeah, no, really, it really is punishment. It really is. I mean, because it's like, because you know what? If it was too easy, I don't think it would have the same, the same kick at the end of it. That there is something about, the process being grueling or whatnot. It's like it's like that being like, oh, this sucks. And, it's like, I got to see the same pages 3 or 4 times, as I'm inking, as I'm penciling, layout, penciling, inking, it's like, and then it's like, all of a sudden, I hit the ending, and then it's like, get it back from the printer, and then it's like, yeah, exactly. That's but that's the goal. That's the goal. It's like, yeah, sure. It's like, are there like, can I? It's like, yeah, I'm not matching up to a Buscema or a John Byrne or something who probably has tens of thousands of pages.
Right.
I mean, it's like for each of them. I it's like, look, I'm not talking about that. It's like, I was just fixing up my shelves. And I was rearranging how I was storing my original pages, and it's like just crazy to see. It's like there's probably around like 1,500 pages by now. If not more, I would have to do like a final count so far. I mean, it's just like, and it's like, wow, it's like, I think that, for oh, absolutely, that is absolutely the goal. There's going to be many tomes. There's going to be the manga tomes. There's going to be the hardcover tomes. I mean, it's like, no, I'm really, it's funny. It's like, I really am committed to the idea of converting everything to manga size and just seeing what it would look like. Just kind of like, I mean, that in and of itself is going to be an ordeal, because of how everything has to be arranged differently. It's like, right, exactly. But it's like, no, it's exciting to get that finished book. It's like, and especially as independent artists, we're doing this ourselves. It's not like, it's not like, like manga artists usually have teams, helping them. It's like, look, even like, the way, if you saw the way, like Jack Kirby and John Buscema and like how they did their pages, it's like, it's like, yeah, they could only function as a team with their inkers and whatnot. So it's like, when I saw for the first time, like some really raw John Buscema pencils, like, these Conan pencils, and I had no idea how loose they were. Like the inkers really did some heavy lifting, and it just goes to show you how, especially back then, the inkers had to be illustrators themselves.
Right.
They were not tracing these pencils. There was no pencils to trace. I mean, the difference, I mean, not taking any away from, I'm not even taking anything away from John Buscema. I mean, those pencils were epic, really like full of energy and whatnot. They weren't tight like the way you see pencils now. But what the inkers added to them, was just like next level, and it was just like, they had to, like, it couldn't have come together except as a team, and, so the thing is, so it's like, as me as an individual person to have these many pages, yeah, I'm going to crow about it, I'm going to be, yes, I have 6 trade paperbacks under my belt. Yeah, I'm going to be proud of that. So it's like, yeah, it's just, it just, what, it just really reminds me, why I do this. When I was packing up the issue 5 campaign, I mean, it was really, I don't know. It was like, it really reminded, yeah, it also reminded me why I was doing this. It's like, I had like people who bought issue 5, just issue 5, which told me that they were coming back. They were already collecting my stuff. And then I had people who ordered all the catch-up sets where it's like, oh, it's like, I'm so interested in this. I just want to buy it all at once, you know? And it's like, you know, and it's just like, that's really amazing that people actually want to read my stuff, you know? And I'm sure, yes, I do. I have many. You know, it's like, you know, yeah, it's like, you know, and that's the thing that we have to remember, because it's like, it's very easy to get like really caught up in the numbers, in the marketing, you know, and it's, you know, and it's way too easy to get salty about, you know, about people who, which is why my blood pressure is up, you know, with other creators who seem to be accomplishing more doing less.
Right.
You know, and it's like, oh, why are people buying that stuff? Why is the money going there? I work so hard on my stuff. Why, you know, it's like this stuff means something to me. They're just doing that to get a Netflix deal or whatnot. It's like, I don't know. It's like whatever nonsense, you know, runs through your head when you're, you know, when you're kind of grinding your teeth at other creators, you know, which is, look, I you know, we have to admit we all do this.
Right.
You know, where it's like, yes, it's like jealousy is par for the course. You know, it's very easy to go, why are they succeeding and I'm not? And I think that happens, that happens to the best of us, even when we don't want it to. It's like, logically, we know why things happen, though. It's like, oh, because I haven't found my audience yet. And, you know, they're tapping into a readily available market with certain things and this, that, and the other thing.
They're getting on their knees.
You know, it's like, however, you know, however you want to say it, right? And you know, and it's, you know, and I think the trick is that we have to step back and we have to remember who you are. You know, it's like, remember who you are. It's like, it's remember why you're doing this. You know, I mean, it's like, yes, would it be nice to have a campaign that that breaks 5 figures? I mean, I came really close. on a campaign.
Well, this time we're gonna stop edging you, Daphne.
You know, I mean,
we're gonna
really,
let you go, girl. What?
You know, I came really close. You know, if I hadn't have gone on vacation, I think I could have made it. I could have made it to a $10,000 campaign, volume 1. But you know what? I needed that vacation. So it's like, you know what? I think I needed that vacation more than I needed a $10,000 campaign. Because honestly, it's like, that was probably the first vacation me and JD went on where I actually felt relaxed. Where I actually felt like, you know, where it's like, I'm really on vacation and enjoying myself. You know, so, you know, I needed that, you know, and also it's like, I was having a lot of fun taking pictures and putting in the characters and posting them on Facebook. If you missed it, you know, I mean, it's like, I had a lot of fun doing that. And it's like, okay, so I didn't make it to a $10,000 campaign, but you know what? We're going to make it there eventually. You know, I mean, it's going to be a slow crawl. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, it's like when you decide to do a very personalized story with a very niche audience, that's just what it is. That's what we have to, you know, yeah, that's what we have to just accept the consequences of, you know, it's like, of our decisions. You know, it's like, are you doing a book about a story that you want to tell that's personal to you? Or, you know, it's like, or are you doing a book that follows a checklist that appeals to a readily available niche?
Right.
You know, it's like, whether it's nostalgia or a certain, kind of like IPs that, you know, it's like public domain IPs or whatnot, you know, like certain built-in audiences. But no, it's like, what we've decided to do, like crazy people, is build our own audience from scratch with our own story. So the road's a little bit harder. But the thing is, though, it doesn't mean that it's not worth it. Just because other people are seeing success faster than we are doesn't mean that what we're doing is not worth it.
Right.
I mean, granted, there are certain things that you probably have to adjust in your life to make up for that. It's like, yeah, that maybe because the Kickstarters aren't as big, yeah, maybe you do need to get like a second job to supplement it. But that's the reality of it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like, honestly, it's the rare person who can have a 100% creative life.
Right.
It's like, look, it's like, I have to, do, it's like, I have to do other types of work to bring money in. I have to do, commissions and things like that to make sure that the fucking vet bill for the cat gets paid, because he had to tell me in an expensive way that I just needed to change his food. But that's just, that's the reality of it, the campaigns only help so much because they're growing, but they're not growing in a way where it's like, oh, I can have a lifestyle on this. It's not, it's not like that. But you know what? But there's the satisfaction of me telling this story that I want, of putting together the trade paperbacks that I want, and yeah, and everything else is just, look, consequences are consequences, whether they're good or bad, and honestly, I think that, from my decisions, these are just, I mean, honestly, consequences, I guess, in this context, they're kind of like, it's like ambivalent, yes, and that's the thing too. Yes, it's like, as Joe is reminding, if you are interested in having me do a variant cover or a pinup for your campaign, contact Nita at indiecomicsnetwork.com and she will set that up for you, and I will do covers for you. So, but that's the reality of it, right? It's like, would I love to be able to just do Eager Raven and Tall Tales pages, the only thing that I do all day? Sure. You know what? I would love to not have to do my laundry either. So, I would love to not have to, clean my house a bit or empty the dishwasher. I also love to not have to do that, but that's what we have to do. And
Pimp.
and
I prefer pimp.
yeah. And this was, and this is also the thing too, that it's like, that we also have to remember too. It's like, I think sometimes when we kind of get wrapped up in the making money aspect of it, that we forget, that we have a tendency to forget that this is an audience we're cultivating.
Right.
It's like, and to not like go, oh, I didn't make, it's like, if I, it's, I didn't make X amount of money, so that means I failed or something. It's like, or it means that, this audience isn't working.
Right.
I mean, it's like, we have to remember not to do that. It's like, we're building, it's like you don't, it's like, certain plants thrive in certain environments, and what we're trying to do is like, the audience is this plant that we're trying to figure out which environment works best for. Does it need too much? Does it need more sun? Does it need less sun? Am I watering it too much?
Does it need to be neglected and put in a corner so it'll pay more attention to you?
You're right, exactly. I think succulents are like that, right? That's why people like succulents, because you kind of ignore them or something and they still grow.
Fucking air plants.
Right. Yeah. It's like, do I need to put it in a pot? It's like, is the pot too small? Is the pot too large? It's like, it's like that's kind of like what we have to remember, what the audience is. And it's like, and in the end, the audience are people who are interested in your work. So it's like, to kind of look at somebody else's audience and then kind of resent yours for not stepping up, you got to remember not to do that. It's like that's not what they're there for. I mean, it's like, think about the stuff that you're fans of, that you purchase on a regular basis, and how you feel when the author or the artist or whatnot or the company starts acting a certain way. It's like when they start treating you as nothing but, that what is it? I was reading this thing about the whole Dungeons and Dragons thing that's happening right now. And they were talking about how the people at Hasbro have disdain for the audience, that they kind of treat the audience as kind of like something in the way of getting the money in their pockets. Like you as a person, as an individual, like you are nothing but an obstacle to the money. The people who are buying the product is nothing but an obstacle. I mean, it's like, look, this is the reason why Bob Chapek got kicked out of Disney as CEO of Disney, because that's exactly how he was really seeing everybody for the last 3 years, that he saw the fans, that he saw the people who enjoyed the product as nothing but obstacles to money. And it's like, and it's like, look, and people can sense it when you're treating them like that. They can see it when you're treating them like that. And you know what? And it's like, look, I don't want to be treated like that. So I want to make sure that nobody who buys any of my work feels like that.
Right.
Because it's like, because, the bottom line to me is that I want people who enjoy my work. I am doing this again. Remember, I always talk about audience of one, but it's a lot more fun to share it. And if I can find other like-minded people like me who want to hear this story that I'm telling, who want to hear my convoluted world building, it's like, even the stuff that'll never make it into the story, but you want to hear about it anyway. It's like just a little background, noise, it's like we're sharing something. We're it's like we're literally bonding over this story, and it's like, and it's like, it's a privilege for me to get money for that. It's like everybody who bought a book off of any of my Kickstarters, that's a privilege for me. It's like, wow, it's like these people can spend money on anything, and they're spending it on something I'm making.
Nice.
And that's not, that is absolutely nothing to sniff at. I mean, it's like, I mean, I've had people who've had fires destroy their homes and everything in it, and they would contact me saying, I need to replace your books. Do you still have them available? I mean, they like that. You can't buy that. I mean, it's like, that's work that you did, and we have to, as creators, especially, it's like, look, if we wanted to go on the road that everyone else is on, we'd be there already, but no, like I said, we're all mentally ill.
Very much so.
And we decided we're going to do this. We're looking at the jungle before us, the untamed jungle. Maybe there's a path or two in there from the people who've gone before, but it's like we see like this clear path right here. It's like, oh, these are all the things that sell really easily. If you just cater to this,
Right.
you'll have an easier time. But instead we go like, well,
let's go break this bitch.
Yeah, let's go this way. Let's see what happens. It's like, I have no idea what poison ivy looks like, but let's go that way anyway. I think I have a machete here somewhere. Let's go that way. And here's the thing, we don't know where that way leads. We have no idea where that way leads, but we're going there anyway. And there's people in there waiting for us. you know, and that's, and it's like, yeah, so it's like I said, it's very easy to get despondent over what we do, because it's like we chose to follow our own muse, and
Bye,
the
Marv.
results, right? Oh, bye, Marv. And the results, are not the same as what we see other people getting for certain books, and it's like, but it's like, if you like, it's like I said, it's like, if you just want the money, there are easier ways. Yeah, there are easier ways to make money. If money is really the only thing you want, it's, I mean, it's like I always, it's like Sam on another video of his, he was talking about, if you're going to fail, if you're going to fail anyway, you might as well fail at something you love, right?
Right.
And he was talking about a quote by Jim Carrey, where he was talking about, life is full of failures. You have more failures than you have successes.
Right.
It's paraphrasing the quote. It's like, so if you're going to end up failing anyway, then why not take a risk on yourself? It's like I would rather fail at something I love than be really successful at something I hate.
Right.
I mean, it's like, I think that's where like midlife people start having midlife crises, where that comes from, right. Exactly. And that's the thing too. It's like, when you see yourself getting mad at another creator's success, you have to, it's like, okay, get that moment out of your system. But in the end, you have to turn to yourself and say, why am I doing this? What is it that they're doing? What's really making me angry about this? Why am I angry at them? They're doing their own thing. They're minding their own business. Why am I minding their business? And, so it's like, why am I paying attention to them? It's like, there's a phrase in running, don't look behind you. You're not going that way.
Right.
So it's the same thing here. Why are you looking at them? Now, it's one thing to see, to kind of study, okay, what are they doing? Now, you see, that's the difference. It's one thing to study. Okay, so, well, they do this, and this. It's like they're marketing here. They're doing this. They're doing that. Could I make that work for me? Would that be helpful for me? We do that all the time, but when you start going, they think they're so special. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, they're just doing a titty book. Who cares? Right? Oh, they're just doing another Cthulhu book. Who cares? It's like, oh, no wonder they're popular. It's like, oh, another Alice in Wonderland spinoff. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's like there was 30 of them last year. Who cares? It's like, of course they're it's like, once you start getting into that dark, once you succumb to the dark side, it's like, you gotta remember to pull yourself. Okay, why are you doing what you're doing?
Yep. Then it's time for some self-reflection.
Right. Remember why you're doing what you're doing. It's like, yes, are those people successful on a supposedly easier path? You know what? That's none of your business. That's really what it boils down to. It's none of your business. Alan Moore has said that it takes just as much effort to do a good comic book as it does to do a shitty comic book. So it's like, you know what? Maybe the effort's the same. Maybe it's just like all things being equal. The audience is easier to find for that than it is for your thing. But you know what? Nobody told you to pick up the machete and go into the jungle.
No, you chose that route.
You chose that route. So again, it's like, yeah, it's like the mosquitoes suck. You're all swollen. You're dehydrated. You got leeches all over your
I love this. I have scrolled through Kickstarter before.
Yes,
everyone has. But it's time at that point when you're in that position, it's time to stop, take a deep breath, and remember who the fuck you are and why you're doing this.
Mm-hmm. Because it's like, you chose to go that way. So it's like, remember why you made that decision. Is it because you want, it's like it's like, yeah, you know what, it's because of why are you going in that direction? It's like you chose a topic, a story, a genre that you're going to fight tooth and nail for every fan you have.
Right.
But you know what? The fact that you have to fight for them means that those are the real ones. Those are the true ones. Those are the ones who are going to stick by you for the entirety. They're not just coming along because you have a variant cover by a certain artist. They're not coming to you because like, this book gets graded higher when I get it sent to CGC.
Right.
It's like, I'm not saying that collectors, don't have their own value. But the thing is, though, is that collectors have a tendency to be able to move on to other things when they kind of tire out really quickly of another of something. It's like they're collectors because they think they can make money off of you.
Right.
So it's like they're kind of like, so they kind of have that same attitude where they're just seeing you as a means to an end, not necessarily because you're doing a story they want to read. But you know what? I'm projecting / reading too much into shit, so I could be just talking out of my ass right now.
No, it's great. No, it's good.
Good. But the thing is, though, when you have to fight for every fan that's going to be there every time you put out a Kickstarter, those are the OGs. Those are, the real deals, the MVPs, that, the whole, whatever, all the terms that all the kids are using. All the terminally online kids are using, whatever. It's like, you're the goats, the bears, the whatever, the lions, the tigers, whatever the fuck the animal it is. It's like, it's like those are, it's like those are the people. It's like if you have to fight for everyone, it's like that's going to mean something more, than if it's like, you did some gimmick and they only came as a response to a gimmick, or a fake controversy, or, it's like, it's like, I'm going to buy this because it pisses somebody else off. Not like they care about, yeah, well, do that anyway. It's like, they're your own books. You can grade them if you want. Like I said, it's like, look, it's just so that we remember to keep our eye on the prize. Collectors have their place. The people who collect, like key issues or whatnot have their place. It's like, look, we have a friend who only collects first issues of every independent comic that exists. That's it. That's all he does. That's all he does. There's a place for everybody. There are people who only collect because, like they said, it's like they're more hate buying or outrage buying.
Right.
It's like there are people who do that. It's like, but we have to remember to keep our eye on the prize. Why are you doing this? Why are you telling the story that that you're telling, and why is it important that you find those like-minded individuals who want to hear the story that you're telling? Eyes on the prize. Would it be nice to make, to wake up one day and see that your campaign has made $10,000? Absolutely. Like it's like I would love for that moment to happen. This might be my year. It might be next year. We don't know. It's like, but yeah, sure. I would love for that to happen. JD would love to have that happen. It's like, I know John, it's like Mike, Jimmy, Sam, everybody who has a Kickstarter.
Wants that to happen.
Yeah. Who feels, it's like, yeah, we all want to wake up and have that happen. But the thing is, though, like I said, the choices that we made have consequences, and we have to accept those consequences, and we have to remind ourselves, why am I doing this? And what's the goal? what am I going for here? It's like, do I just want a flash in the pan audience who, it's like that up and down? Do we want that? Or do we kind of want that steady rat's tail? And boy, do I have a fucking long rat's tail, that's for sure, since 1992. But it's like, slow and steady, or do you want the roller coaster? I mean, as somebody who hates roller coasters, I'm kind of okay with the slow and steady, but again, like I said, there are consequences to all our creative decisions. And yeah, and it's just a reminder, especially when, these past couple of weeks, when it's like there was a lot of days where I couldn't work,
Right.
or I literally could just all I could do was lie in a bed and kind of keep my mind off of the pain in my leg. That's all I could do. And it's like, let me tell you, that was miserable in more ways than one, because I'm sitting there going, these comics are not going to make themselves. Right. What am I going to do? I need to make these comics, and the thing is, though, it's like, why? Because I need to, because I want to, yeah, I know. Exactly.
Right.
I too want to be called an overnight success.
I almost said it, but knowing is half the battle.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, and it's like, yeah, it's like, you know what? I want to fucking slap the first person that calls me an overnight success. I want to get to that point. What's it like being an overnight success? Well, let me fucking tell you. And it's, but that's kind of like, so for everybody out there who's struggling, who's frustrated, no, that's true. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like, it's a slow burn, but better to be a slow burn than to burn the candles out at both ends.
Right.
I mean, really, I mean, there are just certain things that we just have to accept as our lot in life. We made these choices. We have to accept them. And yes, I understand the frustration. I understand the struggle. Believe me, I am not belittling anybody who's struggling on crowdfunding, but, it's going to take a bit. We have to have patience. We have to have patience and keep our eyes on the prize. That's, so yeah. So, and that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got, Nita. Nope. Anything else? I mean, it seems like everybody in the chat gets it too.
They get it.
We're all in this together. You see, and that's what I like. The fact that we are all in this together, and I want to see everybody succeed. That's why I'm always blabbing anything that I figure out, that we figure out, oh, this works, that worked, the other thing, the other one. It's like, it's nice. It's like, it's like people talk about community without meaning it. Too many people talk about community without meaning it.
Right.
And and I like to think that we do have a community where we do share information, and it's like, and we do, it's like that in the end, no matter what happens, it's like, you know what, bro, I understand what you're going through. I know exactly what you're going through. I understand the frustration. I understand you're not alone. It's like, if you feel, it's like, if you're struggling with your crowdfunders or whatnot, believe me, you are not alone. And all we can do is just try to walk you over that hump. That's all we can do. But yeah, but that's all I got for today on this Friday. So,
and don't forget to tune in later on this
that's
afternoon,
right.
3 p.m. Eastern, arting with the Alikat. Not sure what she's going to be drawing, but
something Friday the 13th.
Yeah, because something. I really got
keeps
a feeling that's where she's going.
Yeah.
So, and also tomorrow night, Dispatches from Outside the Box will be back from hiatus, and so yeah,
so they'll be talking about pirates. Pirates. Do you know what a pirate's favorite letter is?
Favorite letter, Daphne.
Well, you would think it's the R, but nothing tops a pirate's love of the sea.
Oh my God.
So on that note, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you everybody in the chat for keeping it, for keeping it moving and real and doing all the things that you do. Thank you to the 12 people who are watching us from regions beyond. Thank you for standing by this hour of, of whatever it was this is.
Thank you. I'm so disappointed, Patrick. Yeah.
No, actually, you know what my favorite joke is? What did the snail? What did the snail said when it got on the turtle's back? Whee!
Oh my!
To learn more about me and my artwork, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook. If you're into seeing sketches and current work in progress and live updates about all my work, because I mostly hang out on Facebook, apparently. So I don't know. That's where everybody is. So that's where I go. And remember that you can check out all my videos about how I do my artwork, and also if you missed any of my previous live streams. What happened?
My brain is so fucking dead.
Well,
this
it's
patch
okay.
Isn't until fucking Tuesday, and I don't know why I was thinking today was Monday.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's why I have to post
it. Get me the fuck out of here, Daphne.
Yeah, no, for real, exactly. So again, it's like watch our previous streams on my channel at Daphne Lage Art, again through the Indie Comics Network, yeah. So everything, yeah, I know. It's the Tylenol. And remember that you can read Eager Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn for free on my website, daily uploads at egoworks.com. Download the first 16 pages for free. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a Lord of the Rings type of adventure, follow the links over to talltalesonline.com and read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free. And remember, all of the campaigns that I've spoken about in the books, you can find links in the show notes below. And remember, in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business. Mind your business, both literally and figuratively, and do the work, because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. And trust me, it's worth it. It's worth every minute. We're in comics, people. It's worth every minute. You do not make this choice lightly. So again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.